Alright, what's up everybody? We are on Season 1, Episode 10 of Vinland Saga, and what a title this episode has. It's called Ragnarok. Absolutely love it. Because of course, I mean, this show in general deals a lot with, Norse mythology, obviously, because it's dealing with Norse characters, but at the same time, yeah, it's fascinating to see them also bring up a lot of the Norse gods. Last episode they literally brought up Thor, I recalled. And then a couple episodes back, I think it was Tyr as well, who is the Norse god of war. I don't myself know a lot about, well, Vikings in the first place, as I already pointed out a couple of times. I don't know that much about Norse mythology either, apart from what I played recently of the 2018 God of War game. Which, I'm a huge PlayStation fan and a huge God of War fan in general, too. So, this is kind of where I'm getting my fix. And I'm getting, thankfully, that allowed me to recall a couple of the, a couple of the things that they mentioned from Norse mythology so far. So I was very glad about that. I know a lot of other people kind of, get their Norse mythology information from, for example, the Marvel stuff, right? Which I'm not the biggest fan of. So, like I said, God of War really and God of War Ragnarok coming up is where I kind of get my my information about Norse mythology in general. But I wonder what else will be referenced in the future. That being said, I literally just came off of watching episode 9, which was a fantastic episode, very much sort of building up to a conversation that ultimately didn't really lead where I would have wanted it to go, right? Between Thorkel and Thorfinn. I kind of had hoped that Thorfinn had realized the relationship Thorkel used to have with his dad, which he ultimately didn't. Although, of course, vice versa, or the other way around, Thorkel did realize that Thorfinn was his son. So maybe there will be a part 2, to that conversation ultimately, but that's what we're gonna sort of have to wait and see about. The battle for now between the English and the Danes has kind of come to a halt. They figured that they simply need more time, need to gather more men, and that's what is happening. So, we kind of get these little teasers of like the king assigning a part of the army, I think it was, to his son, the prince. So I don't know where that is going to go. I don't know how important it's all going to be. We keep seeing those little glimpses, but it's clearly not really the focus, of the story. So, yeah, I don't know how important all those things are ultimately going to be. For now, really, I'm just looking forward to seeing where it goes. I have no idea. I feel like I never really have much of an idea. So that is what is so fascinating about the show, is that you can very much tell what the themes are and the messages that it's trying to bring across to you. But at the same time, it's very hard to predict where it will go from here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to diving in, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Of course, guys, if you enjoy my reactions here to Vinland Saga, then the next 8 episodes will already be up over my Patreon. That is linked on top of the description. Over there, we will already be on episode 18, so you can binge all the way up until there. That's actually going to be very far into the first season, because I think it's going to be 24 episodes total. So, we're racing through this in all fairness. I've been absolutely loving the ride so far. And again, you can watch all those episodes right now along with full-length reactions if you want to see me react to the episodes in their entirety. Your support is very much appreciated and allows me to make these videos in the first place, of course. So keep that in mind. Yeah, and then for now, we're going to dive into episode 10 called Ragnarok. Here we go. Oh shit. What just happened? Are they being attacked by some kind of... Oh god. Yo, how was he able to throw those stones from that distance? That's ridiculous. Yeah, but I think the king told him he wasn't allowed, yeah. This guy is such an egghead. So that is the prince, right? All this time I couldn't even make out if the prince was like male or female.
どうか殿下をお守りください。
あっちが攻めてこねえと戦になんねえだろうが。でけえよ声が。まあ慎重になったんだろう。なんせあっちの大将はデンマークの王子様だしな。
え、何？王子来てんの？
Didn't expect that. I don't know what reputation the prince has. Second in line for the throne. Okay, Torko likes that information somehow. Interesting. Another vision. It sure is. This is like how, you know, Thor's used to have his visions.
またアーレたちが羊の番をサボっている。この間も一頭いなくなったって大騒ぎしてたくせに。
He even has his young voice back.
そうだ、晩ご飯だ。父上を呼びに行かなくちゃ。
Man, you'd almost forget like the way he sounded back then.
父上！父上！
移り住んで正解だったな。
姉上はここじゃ奴隷が手に入らないから不便だって言ってるよ。
あいつらしいな。
Yeah, she would say that all the time, but like the dad was always reluctant. Because I recall how he freed that one slave in the first episode, right? So like, he was never planning on getting any.
お前は長男だ。母上や姉上を守ってやらなきゃダメだぞ。わかるな？うん。そんな人がいてくれるのはとても幸せだ。
I assume that this is kind of something that actually happened. And he's thinking back to? It could also just be in his head though.
だからな、もう復讐なんてやめろ。そんなこと、俺が喜ぶと思うのか。
Wow.
父上どうしよう、襲われてる。母上、姉上。
Okay, so maybe it is just in his head. And this didn't actually happen? Oh shit, yeah, okay. Well, that answers that. Damn, it was, I mean... I guess he's just kind of combining a bunch of memories in a way, right?
俺の国じゃなかったな。暖かくて草原が波打って。
Was he seeing Vinland? Trying to make sense of what he dreamt. That's so familiar. That happens to me sometimes. It's weird too, because you can very quickly forget about what you dreamt, at least in my experience. And then it's like really an actual challenge to try and make sense of what you just dreamt, you know?
本体はとっくに北に引き上げちまった。だのに俺らだけ居残ってこんなしけた村つまんでる。
ま、少しでも小遣い稼いで帰ろうってことなんだろう。
だったらもっとでかい町を。
They will never be able to talk about anything else, will they?
バカか。耳だけはバカじゃねえみてえだ。
なんだとてめえ。
んだこら。
俺たちはもう10年もイングランドを荒らし回ってんだぜ。特に今年は凄まじかった。もうこりゃデンマーク王の勝ちだよ。戦は終わりだ。
そうか？まだ早いんじゃねえの？
Oh, okay.
ロンドンにあのトルケルがいる。
Yeah, he thinks they've already won the battle.
強さは見てだろうが。
トルケルね。
But Thorko is definitely holding up strong.
そもそもありゃ俺らと同じノルド人だぜ。
So all that they basically have left is like the capital.
またか。
And maybe a couple other places.
トーレが怒ったけど、アークは謝罪しねえで逆に。
なんで？
牛泥棒。
Cattle thief?
そう言っちゃったか。
じゃ仕方ねえ。どっちが死んでも後でちゃんとアシュラッドに報告しとけよ。
Okay. Sure thing.
豊かな土地だ。夢に出てきた土地に似てる。
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is kind of similar to what he
アイスラン
saw.
ドとはえらい違いだ。きっと今頃は雪が積もり始めているだろうな。
They're never gonna stop reminding us about that, are they? Not that they have to, but it's never fun being reminded of it. Okay, what's Askeladd doing there? Looks like he's kind of overthinking things as well.
あいつらが騒がしくて眠れないか。
気安く話しかけんな。てめえは俺をうまいこと操ってるつもりだろ。今はそうやってうぬぼれてろ。俺に喉を裂かれてくたばるその日までな。
怖いね。ま、時間は若いお前の味方だ。
Askeladd is always the same.
俺は老いる。いつかお前に負ける日も来るだろう。当然の
Oh,
ことだ。
damn.
どんな強者もいずれは死ぬ。
I don't know, but I just love his personality,
周りを
though.
見てみろ、トルフィン。この石
Even
ころは
though
今の
Thorfinn is
イングラン
reading
ド
him
の
all right.
国民サクソン人が作ったものじゃない。ローマ人をサクソンが滅ぼし、そのサクソンを今度は俺たちが滅ぼす。かつてのローマ帝国の栄光は遠い過去になる。
Wow, this is such a deep episode, man. I fucking love it.
なんでもキリスト教徒どもの言うことにはあと20年もしたら最後の審判とやら。
Oh yeah, the Christians say that?
その日、人間はすべて神に殺され、今の世は完全に滅ぶんだそうだ。
ラグナロク。
見ろ、トルフィン。滑稽じゃねえか。
I guess they figured their Ragnarok is coming.
黄昏の時代の夜明けだ。
Okay, who's coming there on a horse? Surely somebody important.
いや、あれ、友軍だ。
Oh. Don't recognize him.
ここらには俺らしかいないはずだが。
我はクヌート王子殿下のラグナル隊。本隊へ伝令。
クヌート
Okay, okay, what's he about to say?
トルケルか。
ああ、もうそこまで来てる。数は500ほど。奴の直参だけ連れてきたようだ。本隊の足跡をたどってきてる。もうじきマールバラに至るだろう。
ロンドンの包囲軍はクヌート王子の4000がいたはずだが。
そんなもの、とっくに撃破されたよ。俺がその生き残りだ。
So they're saying that Thorkel has moved out, essentially? Damn, dude. They weren't expecting that charge, I presume. I thought Thorkel's guys were supposed to be pretty weak. He was literally calling them that. But he might have been joking, I don't know.
主よ、彼らに安らかな眠りを。その魂が救
He's still over here
ト
praying.
ルケルメがそこまですぐにここ。
Wow.
王子様みっけ。
クヌート殿下はどうなった？
奴らの虜だ。トルケル軍と共にいらっしゃる。これから本隊へ応援を頼みに行くところだ。貴公らも加わってくれ。
So they're on a mission to get back the prince.
決めるのはあんただ。
Will Askeladd want to join them on that though? I mean, what else does he do?
おちおち黄昏てもいられねえラグナロクの足音がよ。
What the fuck? Holy shit. I mean, in all fairness, I was fearful for what this guy had waiting for him already from the start when he arrived.
いいか野郎ども、よく聞け。我々は今からクヌート王子殿下の救出に向かう。クヌート殿下はデンマーク王位継承権第2位のお方。どちらの軍に渡しても報酬はたんまりだ。お前ら想像できるか？
I see.
デンマークとイングランド。
Oh, they're just kind of doing it on a rogue mission. Rescuing Canute for their own, you know, purpose. And then seeing who offers more for him. Interesting. That's what had me so confused. Like, why did he kill that guy then, though? But now I get it. Yeah, Ragnarok is coming, so we're just gonna meet it head on. Wow, this was a very fascinating, surprisingly quiet episode with a lot of deep, philosophical, almost, you know, kinds of conversations, like the one that we saw, of course, happen between Askeladd and Thorfinn, where he talks to him about the collapse of civilizations, right? And you clearly see how, you know, Askeladd, he brings up all these, well, yeah, I mean, we knew going into it that it was going to be having some Norse mythology stuff in there, but he brought up Ragnarok and basically said, like, yeah, it's coming. You know, it's starting to be winter again and stuff, and our downfall may just as well be coming, so we're just going to face it head on, like I said there at the very end of the reaction. Super fascinating, but also the way that he dug up, I think it was a little coin of like the Roman Empire, just to show, like, this thing used to be valuable and now it's not anymore, right? I mean, a coin like that is literally worthless. It's just a memory at that point. And I think it's so fascinating because all those things, they're being talked about here in this show, and the show might take place literally 1,000 years before our time right now, but it's still relevant. And all these things are still accurate right now. Where, like, if you think about, you know, things like money is, you know, which is something that I've been kind of looking into myself, you know, or have been sort of into for the past years, is that, you know, people always say that, like, yeah, we trust so much in our money, for example, but at the end of the day, we're always going to return to gold and silver. Gold and silver have essentially been the main currencies that have always stuck around when you think about it for thousands of years, whereas our own currencies eventually just fade away again. And I just think all those things, yeah, it's so fascinating to realize. And you know, again, I don't know concretely what there is more for me to say about it, but it's fascinating from a very theoretical, you know, point of view. We also just see in general how, like, Thorfinn, his conscience is starting to play with him more and more, right? And so he's having those, well, nightmares, I guess you could say, where at first he's like waking up in this nice lush field or whatever. And I don't know if that entire sequence, if it was made up completely out of memories that he had, you know, that he kind of put together, or if some of it didn't really happen, like we saw that village being attacked and stuff. I mean, maybe that was just in his dream right now and it wasn't something that actually happened to him before. But of course we do see how his dad gets killed again and stuff, right? And in the exact same way, with the arrows literally you know, all piercing into him. And so clearly, but that's exactly how dream sequences are supposed to play out, and how they play out for all of us, I think, right, too, where, like, we always, it's so fascinating, but, like, when you dream, you always have things from the real world, actual memories that you have, all mixed up together in some weird way, and adding, you know, certain things to it that don't make any sense, or that, you know, maybe haven't even happened, but for some reason, it's all just things that are, like, literally dangling around in your mind there, and it's coming together at that point. it's I don't know. Again, this episode, there's not a lot for me to say about it. I don't know how much more concrete I can make it than that, but it's all so fucking fascinating. I absolutely loved it. The one concretely what I can say is I definitely understood where we're going with these last couple minutes of this episode here, right? Where like Askeladd and his guys are returning to their roots of being pirates and going their own way. And so while that still means that they're going to rescue this Prince Canute, they're doing it for their own purpose. That's why they killed that guy in front of them, who was still part of the Danish army, of course, because they want to take Canute for themselves. And they're then going to offer him to both the Danish and the English and see whoever pays the highest price for him and stuff, right? It makes so much sense. And again, we're returning to the roots. We're returning to how we remembered these guys as being as. So yeah, all of that was great. I do very much wonder, because the show is kind of showing that to us a couple of times, and I have to give the disclaimer once again that I just don't have the greatest knowledge of the setting. But so I find it fascinating that we see this Canute a couple of times. He's like praying to a Christian cross, and I don't understand it. Because like I think all these Danish guys or these Vikings, I mean, they're all supposed to be praying to the Norse gods and stuff, right? I'm believing in that. And I think it was actually their enemies who were all portrayed as like being Christians, and who I think eventually do go on in real history to essentially wipe them out. If I'm right about that. But so why is the prince actually praying to a Christian cross? Are the others not supposed to know about that? Thorkel seemed very sort of excited at the prospect of having to fight him and realizing that there was something up with him. When he actually takes him captive, you can see that cross literally there on the ground too. And so, like, that's what I wonder about. What is that all referring to? I have honestly no idea. So, I'm just fascinated to see where it goes from here, guys. I hope that this review was somewhat sufficient. It might have been a little all over the place. My apologies for that in that case, but this was a great episode that just gave me a lot to think about. I just have to, like I said, substantialize it and make it a little bit more concrete, I guess, which maybe when we get to the intro for the next episode, I'll be able to do that a little bit better. But for now, I want to thank you all for tuning in, of course. Keep in mind, guys, that if you enjoy my reactions to Vinland Saga, then the next 8 episodes will already be up over on my Patreon right now, linked on top of the description. Over there, we will be on episode 18, so you can binge all the way to there, along with, of course, full-length reactions if you want to see me react to the episodes in their entirety. Your support is very much appreciated and allows me to make these videos in the first place. So go and check it out. And then for now, I want to thank you all for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you back in the next episode.